As we think of trustworthy AI, we actually think of a combination of things. It's about systems that are secure, private, and they have responsible AI practices from the start. And you might ask, why is that even a thing? Well, it's because we want our AI systems to be the best they can be. We want people to be able to trust them and use them in ways that they were intended to. As we think of trustworthy AI, a key component of that is responsible AI. What does that even mean? So if we're going to measure our AI systems for how safe they are or how good they perform, we need to have a real set of principles that defines what good and bad is. Otherwise, we're kind of just guessing it. So it's important for organizations to think of those principles. And one list of principles that collectively a lot of us believe in are the ones that I'm going to share. Fairness is the first principle, and it talks about, is this biased against a certain person or against a certain population? So for example, if I'm asking it to produce a photo of women executives, and all the executives are Caucasian, and they're all eaten in salad, there's kind of some bias in there that we agree whole that is not really acceptable. The other example is inclusiveness, meaning that as we're building the systems, are they actually usable by everybody, including people with disabilities? And people with disabilities account for 1.3 billion with a B from the world's population. So that's a pretty considerable population to make sure that they can use your products. The other one is reliability. So we want to make sure that as we use them, the systems are reliable. Privacy and security. I don't know about you, but this is a pretty important one. I want my data to be my data. I don't want my bank details to certainly be public. Those are things that really make a difference, as well as accountability. In the sense of who is accountable for the system. How does the user also know what their accountability part of that system is? And last but not least, transparency. If your users don't know that they're interacting with the AI system, we have failed, because people need to be aware that they're not communicating with a person or whatever type of system, but they need to make sure that they know it's AI. So those are the principles. As we think about the fears around AI in general, and I'll kind of decouple them. There's one fear of your existing employees, right? Who might be wondering, how is this playing a part in my own role? How is this influencing what my job is? And oftentimes fear comes from the unknown. And the best place to start is to actually have upskilling for your employees. Help them figure out, how do I deploy these tools in my job in ways that it actually helps me? I'll give a personal journey there. I'm dyslexic. So I started using, you can call it whatever you want to call it. In my case, it was Copilot. For others, it might be other technologies. But things like writing emails, reading long research papers are things that I don't naturally do well. It's just not my skill set. AI has transformed the type of things I can do in my job because I use those tools. Moreover, I really want everybody to be the AI hero of their teams, because if you're going to be the person who drives a lot of the transformation in your own team and shows others the way, you're going to be the hero. So please, please, please be the hero. So organizations have homework. If you're either building or using AI systems, you all collectively have homework. This is not something we can wing. One of the first items of your homework is have an AI governance. If you're going to implement or develop AI, think of the whole change management system. Think of, how does this influence your people? What is the upskilling that has to happen? How are you even tracking the AI systems that you're either consuming or producing? So I think that is the most important key takeaway. And if you think to yourself, what is our AI strategy? And there's no actual response to that, then this is where you start.